And we go back on the line. Benediktas Čirba, your 4th place qualifier, to take on Bekhit Al Hajeri. And Bekhit's crew last night, when I walked down to the paddock, were cheering and jumping up and down in pure excitement to know that they had managed to get themselves into top 32 competition, but a tough contender ahead for them, as we see Benediktas Čirba absolutely flying. Wheel on that yellow line right to the edge of the circuit. Bekhit though comes for a little shortcut, goes on the inside of the circuit, trying to gain some ground he's lost, and again does it there on outside zone 4. Very scrappy chase, which should be clean, because Benediktas Čirba is giving Bekhit all the opportunity for a nice chase run with that clean lead line, and Bekhit there shutting it down. And there we go, Bekhit crawls to the line ready to lead out the Lithuanian driver Benediktas Čirba. And look at this, Čirba already back off the line, waiting to get a nice lead, a nice pull up through that chicane down. You can see Čirba goes for that initiation behind the lead car, perfectly where he needs to be, because you can see there he gets that line in. And now Bekhit was on a very nice lead line until he fell out of outside zone 3. Čirba going to struggle to chase this one, I believe. Nice dive, Čirba playing with fire right there. Unpredictable lead from Bekhit at the moment, and Čirba took a big risk on that transition, as now Benediktas Čirba once again is going to go for a wild transition through into outside zone 5. Bekhit super wide, wheels off the edge of the circuit, and you can see Benediktas Čirba holding on, trying to get himself into the groove, goes for the transition back, dives onto the door. Very well played by Benediktas Čirba. And yeah, there we go, look at this, I think an easy decision. Benediktas Čirba getting the win, advancing through into competition. And yeah, as I was just going to say, Čirba, he took a big risk there. He didn't need to make that kind of dive, he didn't need to make that kind of move onto the door of Bekhit, but he did, and goes to show the level of talent that Lithuanian has. So we're going to get back to that one in a minute. We're going to move on to this one, Čirba versus Rarahovskyi. Rarahovskyi to chase down the Lithuanian Benediktas Čirba. And look at Benediktas Čirba, no messing around. Rarahovskyi though trying to get involved with this one, as he dives up onto the door, looks for the side of that yellow E92 BMW Eurofire, and once again Rarahovskyi through the smoke, looks for the front wheel, big clutch kick, the front end of that GT86 popping up and down on the tarmac. Good transition for Rarahovskyi as he goes for a dive onto the door. Benediktas Čirba unfazed by the pressure from the Ukrainian though, as he transitions once again. Rarahovskyi stalls up, Čirba across the line. Wow. There we go, swap him around, Rarahovskyi to lead out Benediktas Čirba. What has Čirba got? He needs to lay it down now. Rarahovskyi, very tidy lead line at the moment. He's going to go wide though, 2 wheels off the edge of the circuit. Judge is not going to like that one, as now Rarahovskyi needs to get himself into the groove, slows that car down massively, and Čirba once again makes contact. So Benediktas Čirba puts himself into a spin, and Rarahovskyi now gets himself into that final zone across the line. Give you all of my attention. Well, there we go, the driver's out of the car. We're going to see it from another angle, and there wasn't any contact, and you can see there from that angle how Rarahovskyi got this one done. Yeah, look, comes out of that outside zone. He does dial on a lot of angle there, and he does scrub quite a lot of speed, and that really there would be the point of transition. And I think Rarahovskyi knows that potentially this one could be it. Here we go, decisions in. Who's going to take it through to the grade 8? Will it be the Ukrainian Rarahovskyi, or will it be the Lithuanian Čirba? There we go. Čirba gets the win, advances through into competition, and Rarahovskyi, unfortunately that mistake too much for the judges. Gets a step closer to the podium. We go back to the line. The 5-minute rule finished, and Ahmed Al Amri was ready to rock and roll. So Ahmed Al Amri to chase down Benediktas Čirba. And here we go, through the chicane we go, through the gears. Benediktas Čirba to lead out Ahmed Al Amri, and Ahmed Al Amri now, that car working 100% as Čirba hammers the throttle absolutely to the metal as far as it will go. As Ahmed Al Amri, though, balancing that car, look at him working the throttle. He has got the grip and the pace to keep up with the Lithuanian driver as they transition to outside zone 4. Benediktas Čirba onto the throttle, up into the white line as Amri goes for it. Ahmed Al Amri, no messing around, lacks a little bit of proximity, but he's right there with Benediktas Čirba now as he looks for the transition once again, waits to make the move, and he does, up onto the door. And now it sits on the line, ready to lead out Benediktas Čirba, a Lithuanian driver hunting for a spot in the final 4. Oh, here we go, through the chicane. Ahmed Al Amri through the gears, nice little feint initiation, right to the edge of the circuit goes Ahmed Al Amri, a little waver, but he keeps a hold of it now as Ahmed Al Amri, absolutely beautiful into outside zone 3, pins the throttle down, looks out the side window and says, see you later, Čirba, but Čirba's going nowhere as he dives through the smoke. Very shallow line, but he makes it work as Čirba looks for the door of the S15. Doesn't want to go down without the fight. The Lithuanian, good transition back and a nice dive onto the door from Benediktas Čirba as he's closer than Ahmed Al Amri now. He knows he needs to prove to the judges there is nothing left in this one. Good dive from Čirba, back on the door again. Well, here we go, both guys jump out of the car and Ahmed Al Amri says, well, for a moment there I didn't think it was going to go any which way. I thought I was going to gift him it. And Čirba says, wow, what a battle. That was so much fun. Both guys leaving it all out on track, and Ahmed Al Amri will be so happy to have managed to battle here on this stage in front of his home ground against Benediktas Čirba. But we'd love nothing more than to get the win and get into the final 4. So just listening into the judges, and they are splitting hairs. And there we go, a one more time. Well, Ahmed Al Amri is not having it easy this weekend. A one more time between himself and Hadidi, and now a one more time between himself and Benediktas Čirba. And he's going back to the paddock and saying, well, we're back, and we're going to leave His Excellency and the chairman to enjoy the sights and sounds of the paddocks, and we're going to move it on with a one more time battle. Benediktas Čirba to lead out Ahmed Al Amri for a spot in the final 4 awaits. Al Amri way out of position there. He's going to struggle now. Yeah, wheels on the inside as Benediktas Čirba fires into outside zone 3. Look how good he is on those outside zones, but Ahmed Al Amri gets his way back into the fight as he transitions now through the smoke. Čirba on rails as he moves through outside zone 4. Ahmed Al Amri trying to rein him in, trying to get dialed up on the door. Good transition back from Ahmed Al Amri as he looks for the side of that yellow BMW E92 Eurofighter. Now Al Amri loses some ground. The transition coming up, a good flick from Čirba right to the edge of the circuit, across the line with Al Amri in tow. So Ahmed Al Amri, the Omani national, the only one still in the fight, and I'm assuming to be this far in competition, will take the top step in both the MENA and the local competition tonight. So 2 podiums potentially. Can he get a third? Can he get a third here at OIDC round 2? Nice initiation for Al Amri, but unfazed from Čirba. He waits for him to make his move as Al Amri gets into the outside zone. Now Čirba starts to make the dive, turns the screw a little bit as Čirba knows he can't let him get away. He needs to add a little bit more proximity, a little bit more spice to the mix this time, not to leave the judges questioning anything. As Al Amri goes nice and wide on the transition, Čirba right with him, and Čirba goes for a brave dive, almost over-rotates, almost stalls up, as Čirba has to use the brakes to put that car into a stall. Transitions back once again, Čirba back on the door across the line. So just a little view there of what the judges are looking at in the room just above me, and how they're trying to break this one down. As they say, this one very, very tight and a very big battle. This is for the final spot in the final 4. There we go, the huge Lithuanian flag hanging over the grandstand as these guys praying and hoping to have 2 Lithuanian drivers into the final 4. Oh, and it's going to be another one more time. We need to have a word of our judges, so I will go silent, and I'll be back once again, ladies and gentlemen, forgive me.
One more
Thumbs up all around. Here we go. The second one more time. Has to be done this time. Surely one of these guys has to do something different. Big initiation from both of them, and Ahmed Al Amri makes a mistake on initiation. Separation straight away as now Benediktas Čirba puts the foot to floor, goes wide, just about holds it on the tarmac, but Ahmed Al Amri starts to make a dive back, starts to pull back once again, wheels off the outside edge of the circuit for Benediktas Čirba now as Ahmed Al Amri sees him make that move, looks for the transition as Ahmed Al Amri waits for the transition to be done by Čirba to make the move up onto the door. As Čirba hammers down and through the circuit, transitions back, Al Amri onto the side and across the line. Yeah, judges still discussing this one and won't let these guys leave the line until they've thoroughly discussed what is going on and if they are happy to run the second half of the run. There we go, they certainly are, so off the line they come. Ahmed Al Amri to lead out Benediktas Čirba. Look at Čirba right onto the back bumper. That S15 is closer than he was before. Shallows up the angle, now starts to dial it in. Čirba needs to be careful. He knows he needs to do something to force the judge's hand to put him into that final four. And Čirba closer than anyone else through that first big outside zone. Čirba then makes the transition work as he now once again gets closer and closer and closer. Up into the door he goes with Al Amri's perfect lead line. Onto the door goes Čirba through the transition. He wants this one bad. Look at the front dipping down every time he touches the brake or lifts off the throttle. He's closer onto the door than Al Amri and gets the job done. So both guys pull up to receive the decision. And one way or another, this one has to fall in someone's hands. Who's it going to be through to the final four? It will be Benediktas Čirba. Benediktas Čirba gets the win and advances through to the final four, doing enough on that chase, and it means so much to him. He's ecstatic with that one. Look at this. Bowing down to the Lithuanian flag as he gets back in the car. And we say fair play to Ahmed Al Amri, because he did not go down without a fight, that is for sure. So the next battle will be Alan Hynes to chase down Benediktas Čirba, the higher qualifier, for the last spot in the final of weights. Who's it going to be? Čirba has had so much practice, so much seat time on this circuit. He's dialed in, he knows that line, but look at Alan Hynes reeling him in, looking for the door, looking for the rear end of that BMW as they fire through outside zone 3. A big transition back. Hynes goes for it, makes the move, wheels over the edge of the circuit for Alan Hynes though, as he has to readjust, move himself back into position. No such problems this time for Benediktas Čirba, as Čirba hammers the throttle down, looking to drive away from Alan Hynes, but he can't escape as Alan Hynes is right with him onto the door, across the line. And now we look to see what's their contact on that dive. That's what the judges are going to be looking at, I guess. Yeah, there was. Look at that. Bam. Little touch on the door. Over aggressive from Alan Hynes. Not paid into too many other drivers' favours this evening. Well, there we go. The judges see what they need to see. We swap them around. Čirba to chase down Alan Hynes. Through the chicane, through the gears, onto the back bumper goes Čirba, and he's got that initiation absolutely dialed every single time as Čirba looks for the side of the Pro Drift Academy green S14 as Alan Hynes lays down that perfect qualifying line once again. Čirba, look at the line he takes, look at the transition he makes. Oh, clinical from Čirba, almost contact. Has to back out of it, but gets himself back into it once again as Alan Hynes slightly falls offline, slightly comes away from where he wanted to be as Benediktas Čirba holds on to it, looks to make a dive. Is he going to come through the smoke? He certainly is! On the back bumper goes Čirba. Čirba climbs out of the car. I think he hopes he's got this one. And Alan Hynes not sure who is going to take it through to the final to face off against Ali Makshseed. And Čirba will be hoping not for a one more time. He would hope to get it done in the first run. Alan Hynes would love nothing more to be on the podium once again, knowing that some of the other contenders felt early in competition would put him in a good place in the championship. As he pulls back into position, we should get the decision any minute now. Well, here we go. Looks like the decision's in. Oh, and Benediktas Čirba gets the win. Benediktas Čirba gets the win and advances through to the final to face off against Ali Makshseed. Alan Hynes. The final decision has been made. And here we go, the final is up. Čirba to lead out Makshseed. Our track marshal gives a quick look over his shoulder to make sure we are all good and safe to run, and we certainly are. And here we go, the final battle of round 2 underway. Benediktas Čirba to lead out Ali Makshseed through the gears. Makshseed makes contact on initiation. Makshseed is not messing around. Benediktas Čirba unfazed, the Lithuanian wants it. Look at the line into outside zone 3 for Benediktas Čirba as Ali Makshseed hunts him down through the outside zone, looks for the transition. Makshseed, big contact as Makshseed goes too angry, too aggressive. Picks up the throw once again and gets himself in it, and the Lithuanian is unfazed by the contact from Ali Makshseed. Keeps himself in the zone, keeps himself in the flow as he looks for the final outside zone. Ali Makshseed goes for another dive on the door across the line. Well, there we go. Makshseed has the bumper removed from the front of the car, and the guys check the car out to make sure it is good to run for the second half of the battle. He now leads out Benediktas Čirba. And Čirba now sitting there thinking this could be the weekend. Well, it might well be if he can get this one done and in the bag. Through the gears they go. Čirba's going to keep this one clean. He's not going to want to mess up as they go way on the inside. Ali Makshseed, as you can see, dragging him down to the inside edge of the circuit. Look at Čirba, the way he mirrors the angle into outside zone 3. And Ali Makshseed sparks and flames from underneath the car as he has to shut it down. Benediktas Čirba puts on a show as Ali Makshseed pulls to the centre of the circuit, and Benediktas Čirba stands on the foot brake and says, this one is for Lithuania. This one is for all the times where I've struggled to make it through competition. And this one is redemption for last weekend as Benediktas Čirba takes it across the line. Well, there we go. We take a look at the replay. Watch underneath Ali Makshseed's car as he comes around this first corner. You see the flames pop from the external wastegate, and then on the driver's side of Ali Makshseed's car, sparks, more sparks, and even more sparks once again. So big either engine failure there or a clutch failure for Ali Makshseed, and that 2 car mechanical breakdowns take out 2 drivers, one after the other here. Round 2 of the 2023 Oman International Drift Championship. And there we go. The podium is decided, ladies and gentlemen. So, with that in the bag, these guys are going to head down to receive the award ceremony as Čirba, out of the car, appreciates the crowd. He knows he's got the job done. And he knows he came here to do one thing, and that was stand on the top step of that podium, and he has done it. So there we go. Čirba will make his way off the circuit. Ali Makshseed will be recovered away. And ladies and gentlemen, well, I'm going to leave you now to watch the sights and sounds, and I'm going to make my way to get all of the results for 3 championships we are running here, and I'll make my way to the podium where you'll see these guys receive their trophies along with a few others. So if you want to see the award ceremony, don't go anywhere. Make some noise for your winner of round 2, Benediktas Čirba!
تحية أكيد لتشيربا الليتواني اللي قدم أكيد أداء رائع مميز مبهر للغاية خلال هذا السباق والجولة الثانية. Well done Čirba, you did an amazing and perfect job. تحية لتشيربا يا جمهور. برافو. أيوة نايس. رد الليتواني الصور كبير. صورة جماعية أكيد. دفتو. ألان هاينز تشيربا ماكسيد. واقين. Make some noise for the last time. Ayan, how's your voice?
My voice is sore. It needs some time to repair, and so does yours. Thank you
over.
for joining us today. It's been incredible to work with you.
Pleasure.
Thank you
Nice
to
meet you.
everybody. Thank you to everybody that turned out this weekend. Thank you to everybody that tuned in online to listen to us commentate
Thank you,
for
thank
hours
you,
on
Alan.
end. Thank you to all of our judges and our officials. We'll be back in 2 weeks for round 3. It's not
Round
to be
4.
missed. The championship is underway. Have a safe evening. Have a safe journey home. Good night, and we'll see you soon.